One of my favorite parts about our practice is its history and our story. I'm actually the third dentist to carry on our legacy. And our founder, Dr. Wilbar Jennings, he had to have been at least one of the first dentists in Winter Park and in Central Florida. He opened our practice in 1939. Our story actually begins with him, but even a little earlier than that, he graduated from Rollins College in Winter Park in 1929. He kind of got to rub elbows with some well-known people from Winter Park's history. Hamilton Holt was the president when he was there. After graduating, he came back to Winter Park and started our practice in downtown Winter Park in a little cottage on Park Avenue. You know, even today we have lots of influential patients who remember Dr. Jennings, and it always amuses me to think about which famous Winter Park or Central Florida residents may have been patients of ours over the years. Fred Rogers, for example, was in Winter Park for a number of years. Could he have been a patient here? Maybe. It's fun to think about, but what I love about Dr. Jennings and his history is that he was the longest owner and occupant of a famous Winter Park home, the Capon House. And that now sits on Lake Osceola as an event center. Many residents will remember that in 2013, it was scheduled to be demolished, and they fundraised and enough people donated to be able to actually move it to a new location. It was cut in half, put on a barge, and moved across the lake. And now it's at the location of the Alban Polask Museum. Dr. Jennings was the longest occupant of that home, so that kind of tied us to Winter Park's history a little bit as well, which really fascinates me. But Dr. Jennings was our founder. He and his successor, Dr. Price, they both had great reputations for taking good care of people. So it was my honor when I got to carry the torch forward and carry on their legacies by treating people right, the way that we want to be treated. So that's our goal. And I feel as though, you know, Dr. Jennings having built several of the buildings in the downtown Winter Park area that our practice had been in over years, I'm carrying on the torch just a little bit more in building our new office here, which we built in 2019. Except, of course, we built it with all of the modern technologies and amenities that you would expect, not just from a dental office, but you know, we've incorporated lots of elements to try and make it feel more relaxing and more, just make it a better experience. Everything from massagers in all of our dental chairs to TVs up above our patients so they can relax and watch Netflix or watch a movie with our noise-canceling headphones. And it's really come a long way. No longer are the days we have to white-knuckle it and sit nervous in the waiting room. You know, we don't even call it a waiting room here. We call it our reception area because we don't want you to be waiting. So when you come in, you know, it shouldn't look or feel like or smell even like a dental office. We've gone through great lengths. I'm indebted to my wife, who's an interior designer, who labored over this, a labor of love, to make sure that it didn't feel like a dental office. And I think that we've really achieved something special here. When I took the practice over from Dr. Price in 2014, the office at that time had lots of photographs on the walls that he had taken. Our patients were very fond to let me know that he would always put photos up from his vacations or from his hobby as a photographer. So that's another way that I followed in his footsteps a little bit. All of the photos in our office now are photos that I've taken, not of vacations necessarily, but of local areas around town, of Winter Park and Central Florida. Every one of our treatment rooms has a theme, and they're all themed after different parts of our town. So there's a Park Avenue room with photos of Park Avenue. There's a Rollins College room. There's a Craft Azalea Gardens and a farmer's market room. The list goes on, but I really wanted to have that local connection for our office because at the end of the day, not many people think of their dentist as a small business, but that's what we are. That's what we always have been, is a local small business, locally owned and operated as a family business. So I wanted to make sure that came across clearly in our new office here. Our legacy is incredibly important to me. And that's because Dr. Jennings and Dr. Price had such a great reputation. We've always been privately owned. And I intend to keep it for as long as I'm here, privately owned, so that we can ensure that our patients are our friends and neighbors. And so we want to be able to give the best quality of care possible. We're focused on the patient first, and that's never going to change here. That's something that I believe to my core is to carry out the way we do things with the same core values that Dr. Jennings and Price had.